Hey everyone, my name is Randy and I am here with Phillip Day of Root
Food plus wine.
Food Plus Wine right here in Augusta, Missouri. It's the nicest restaurant. I can't wait to do this interview and show you guys just some of the fabulous foods that they make. And the wine pairing, you guys are like top notch on wine pairing. So here we go. Phillip Day. Tell us about Phillip. Married, kids?
Yeah, so I'm married. Been married for 10 years to my wife Jamie. We've got 2 kids. Our son Waylon, he's 7, and our daughter Elsie is 4. We live just outside of, in between Wright City and Marthasville. Yeah, so a big focus of my cuisine is farm to table. So anything that I can support local farmers or local products, that was really important to me. And the idea of that is kind of rooted in the past, so you have people from generations ago that lived off of the land. They lived off of their farms or their gardens and that type of thing, and that is the root of what I like to do. With cuisine, I like to use that product from local sources.
So how'd you get this idea of this restaurant, Root?
So I was working for other people, running their kitchens, and I've always had a dream of owning my own restaurant, and I just decided that the time was right. And some of my friends that own an organic farm in Wentzville, we kind of came up with a plan to do dinners at their farm during the pandemic. People didn't want to sit indoors, and we had a huge space outdoors in order to keep people distance and that type of thing. And they have wonderful produce, and we just started doing these dinners together, and it really took off. And then it got cold, so I started to look for another location, and met Randall Oakes, who owned Kate's Coffee in Augusta, and did some dinners with him. And that led to some talking about Root having a permanent home in Augusta. Yeah, so like I was saying, seasonality is very important to us. As a farm-to-table restaurant, we try to use what's growing in the season. I have some friends that have a farm in Wentzville, Missouri called Lucky Dog Farm, and we work very closely with them with what's coming out of the gardens. And currently, right now, it's in the middle of winter, and there's hoop houses and greenhouses and those types of things where there's still product growing. So that's really kind of what dictates the menu. In the middle of the summer, we might change it every week because there's different things coming out of the garden at all times, and then in the winter, it might be a few weeks before we change something, but it's just all because of what's available at the time.
So what type of restaurant would you say you specialize in?
Yeah, so I would say Root is an upscale, boutique, farm-to-table American restaurant. What's great about America is we're a melting pot, and there's so many different cultures that make up, this country that, I can bring in flavors from Asia or Europe or, all over the world, South America, all of that, and still be in the American genre, and I think that really makes our food unique.
What are some of the staple items that you do carry on your menu?
Yeah, so we're known for our sourdough bread. I started the bread mother 6 years ago, and it's it's definitely something that we've kept on our menu, and people seem to really like it. Consistently, we have Kopp Farm beef from Tara and Jason Kopp, and we have generally Rockbridge rainbow trout from southern Missouri. And then I'm usually looking for a bird of some sort, so we usually kind of go back and forth between quail and duck. And those things are generally on the menu, and what comes with them, the set for it changes, either weekly or monthly, depending on what time of year it is.
All right, let's talk about wine pairing. You guys have got one of the best reputations for wine pairing in the meals that you cook with it.
Yeah, so like we offer a course meal here, and generally it's a 3, 5, or 7 course meal. And then we also offer wine pairings to go along with that. So if you get a 3-course meal, we offer a 3-course wine pairing, or a 5-course wine pairing, or a 7-course wine pairing. We do offer local wines as well as wines from all over the world. Generally, we stick with good wine pairing rules, light white wines, with things like fish and vegetables, or lighter reds with birds like duck and that type of thing. And then we also offer some bigger wines, with things like beef and lamb and that type of thing.
All right, as much as I love wine, these guys master mixing drinks. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is great. Watch this.
So we've been really lucky to have Dylan O'Hara as our bartender for almost the last year now, and Dylan is extremely talented when it comes to mixology, and very knowledgeable of classic cocktails and things like that. And when I hired him, I told him, one thing about Root is we want to have a very big focus on locality. And there's some great distilleries that have popped up around St. Louis and the area. And I said, you have to work within these confines and make it interesting and special. And he has really just hit a home run with that. And that's we're so lucky to have him.
What's one of the most popular drinks?
Oh, he's so popular. His Maximo is really popular. That's a great one. Anything that he does with whiskey is a very popular drink. Manhattans, that type of thing. He always puts a spin on things. So, you think you're going to get your traditional Manhattan, and then there's something that he's got that just makes it a little bit top notch. So.
You guys have a beautiful patio outside. So comforting.
Yeah, it's a great space. It's awesome in the springtime. We'll have herbs growing, and we'll be able to actually double our seating capacity for the restaurant, which is great too. People love to sit outside. So and we actually have kind of two patios. They're both separated, and one is very shaded underneath the trees, and the other one gets some decent amount of sun. So it just kind of allows people to kind of pick which spot they want to sit in.
Hours of your restaurant?
Yeah, so we're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday for dinner. We start at 5 and we go till 9 o'clock. And then on Saturdays, we're open for lunch 11 to 3. We take a little break in between lunch and dinner.
What about reservations?
We recommend making a reservation, especially in the winter time, because our seating capacity is a lot less, so we fill up really fast. So without a reservation, it'd be hard to get in.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Phillip, thank you for all your time. If you're coming to Augusta, make sure you stop in, make sure you call and check in at Roots and make a reservation. It's something you will not regret, I promise you.
Our website is www.rootfoodwine.com.